This final unit in U.S. government is a study of civic engagement. The democratic process established in the United States is dependent on the participation of citizens. After examining the structures and functions of the U.S. government, it is important to examine the role individuals like you play in the government. An examination of the political process is important for you to understand how to participate in government. Important questions to consider as you study the information in this last unit is what role do political parties play in the political process in the United States? How can U.S. citizens engage in the political process to effectively bring about change? And why is it important for U.S. citizens to be civically engaged? Although the U.S. Constitution makes no mention of political parties, these organizations emerged during George Washington's presidency as Americans debated federal power. Two groups formed: the Federalists, who supported a strong central government, and the Anti Federalists, who advocated for states' rights, establishing the foundation for America's two party system. The United States political landscape has been dominated by the Democratic Party, established in 1828, and the Republican Party, formed in the 1850s for nearly 2 centuries. This dual party dominance persists due to historical traditions, family political socialization, the winner take all electoral system, and state and federal laws favoring major parties. The American political landscape has undergone significant transformations through distinct party eras, each marked by the dominance of particular political parties and ideologies. Beginning with the Federalist era, led by figures like George Washington and John Adams, the nation saw its first political system take shape. This was followed by the Democratic Republican Democratic era, which witnessed the rise of Jeffersonian democracy and eventually the modern Democratic Party. The Republican dominance period emerged during the Civil War and continued through the Industrial Revolution. The Democratic New Deal era was ushered in by FDR's response to the Great Depression, while the modern era has been characterized by greater party competition and significant regional realignments, with both parties experiencing periods of control over different branches of government. Third parties have significantly influenced American politics despite the two party system dominance. These include ideological parties like socialist and libertarian, splinter parties like the Bull Moose Party, and single issue parties. While rarely winning major elections, third parties impact politics by introducing new ideas, creating spoiler effects in elections, and influencing majority party platforms to adopt popular positions they initially championed. The expansion of voting rights in the United States occurred through several crucial constitutional amendments. The 15th Amendment in 1870 prohibited voting discrimination based on race. The 19th Amendment in 1920 granted women's suffrage, or the women's right to vote. The 24th Amendment in 1964 outlawed poll taxes in federal elections, and the 26th Amendment in 1971 lowered the voting age to 18. These amendments collectively transformed American democracy by extending voting rights to previously disenfranchised groups. Modern interest groups are organized associations that seek to influence government policy and public opinion. Protected under First Amendment rights, these groups include economic interests like labor unions, environmental organizations such as the Sierra Club, public interest groups focusing on broad social issues, and single issue organizations. Interest groups employ various strategies to influence policy and create social change in the United States. These organizations use tactics such as media campaigns to shape public opinion, support political candidates through campaign contributions and political action committees or PACs, and engage in professional lobbying. The League of United Latin American Citizens, LULAC, established in 1929, exemplifies effective advocacy through legal action, educational integration initiatives, and voter registration drives, resulting in improved educational access and political participation for Hispanic Americans. The modern political landscape in the United States has undergone significant transformation in recent decades. Voters increasingly identify as political independents, while regional voting patterns have shifted dramatically, notably in the South's transition from Democratic to Republican dominance. Interest groups have gained unprecedented influence through lobbying and campaign contributions, while social media platforms have revolutionized political communication. Despite these changes, the two party system remains dominant, though debates over voting rights and access continue to shape American democracy.